I'm just curious how fast this bike is. I'm gonna turn my throttle here. Let's see what the speed will say. Oh my God. And this bike is pretty comfortable. I definitely feel like I can go without my hands on the handlebar, which is I usually can't do with a moped style e-bike. Let's keep going here. All right. What's up, y'all? So we received what might be the most powerful, I would say, cargo moped style e-bike that we received as of 2026. And I say that because this bike has two 1,000 watt motors. It has a total peak power of 3,600 watts. And it also has a 52 volt, 60 amp hour battery, advertised to take you up to 200 miles of charge. And that's in pedal assist. It says it can go 180 miles per charge in throttle only. But I guess we'll test that out. This bike is also advertised to go 38 miles an hour. It's kind of long for a moped style e-bike, but it's not necessarily a full size e-bike. So that's why I call it like a cargo moped style e-bike. Like, I don't know. So this bike is the TESWAY X5 AWD. This bike weighs 119 pounds. Maximum weight of the rider is 400 pounds. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, put the bike together, go through all the features, test out the range, test out the speed, and see is this the best, I guess, cargo moped style e-bike that we received after 2026. And is it one of the best that we ever reviewed on this channel? Also, I am still doing an e-bike giveaway. You want to be included in a giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel, you have to live in the US, and you have to comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. You want like a cargo moped bike like this one? You want a folding portable bike? You want like a full-size e-bike? Comment below, let me know. When I get to 40,000 subscribers, I'm sending one of y'all an e-bike.
1,000.
Last month I got a lot of subscribers last month. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I'm posting shorts or something. Brother and fellow e-bike connoisseur Tayo. So we got this bike unboxed. I think it was wrapped pretty well. I do wish they did more to protect the front wheel there, but it was a lot of foam around this bike, so I highly doubt that anything is damaged, but I guess we're gonna see. This bike also came with a few other small boxes, so let's see what's in these boxes. Also came with a nice bike bag. All right, look, that looks like a, all right, I don't think I've ever had that headlight on a bike before, and it's pretty big.
Holder on it.
All right, a phone holder. Looks like we have a pretty fancy tool kit and with some Allen wrenches that I can actually use. So, all right. Came with we got to put a disc brake on. It's not that hard though. So, look like we have a combination bike lock, random handlebar grip, like, and look like we got some, what's that? Oh, we got the rear view mirrors. A bunch of nuts and bolts and clamps. We have a owner's manual, and what is that behind it? Looks like an after sale service card. All right. Does that mean y'all customer service are gonna be halfway decent? So in pictures, I'm not seeing any advanced settings in the manual. Oh, the box had our large battery charger in it to charge our 60 amp hour battery. And that cord also came with the charger. We got this bike unwrapped and impressed so far, especially with the color, but doesn't look like anything was damaged. Or is that a chip right there? No? Okay. So it doesn't look like anything was damaged. Look like we're gonna have to put our handlebar on. Okay, they just sent us an extra grip. So I see both grips on the handlebar. So we're gonna go ahead and put this disc brake on first, and then we're gonna put this front wheel on the bike. And we've been having someone else help us put these bikes together. This is Cameron.
What's up, YouTube?
He just graduated from an HVAC program, so we've been putting them to work with helping us getting all these bikes, putting these bikes together. before we put this front fork on, these washers here with that protrusion at the bottom there, you have to really make sure that they're on that wheel as much as you can. They have to be on there very, very tightly, or the front fork is not going to fit. So we're going to go ahead and put the front fork on now. But again, we have to make sure that both washers are shoved in pretty tightly on that motor. And then there is a groove in there that it's supposed to match. So we got the bike put together. I would say this was probably one of the easier dual motor e-bikes to put together. It took us about 40 minutes. And this is pretty long for a, I guess, a moped cargo e-bike. It's about a little less than 6 feet 1 inch from wheel to wheel. The seat at the lowest point from the floor is like 2 feet 9 inches. And the seat pole is pretty long. I don't know if y'all can see that. So it can go up pretty high. The handlebar, which is not adjustable, where we have it now, is like 3 feet 9 inches from the floor. Now the look of this e-bike, I would say, is heavy on the cargo because the cargo is built into the bike again. But I love the color that I picked, and I like the sleek look of the frame. But love that it's a step through with reinforcements here. I think it's a decent looking bike. But let me know what y'all think. Again, love the durability and love the grooves on these Kenda tires. And I will say this is the most grip I've felt on a Kenda tire. So this one might actually perform well in our gravel test as well as our off-road test. Look at that suspension. And we have 2 of these suspensions on the back of the bike. And I love coil suspensions over like air compression suspensions. I feel like it gives you better rebound. And these suspensions are about 7 inches long. Give y'all a look at this suspension in the rear. We also have this motorcycle style front fork that has adjustable compression. And you learn to really appreciate this. It really does help when it comes to off-road riding. We can lock out the suspension by turning it that way. If we want more movement on that suspension, then we turn it to the left. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. I do wonder, is this compression knob going to be hitting up against this handlebar though? Give y'all a look at this front suspension. On the other side of your handlebar, we do have a suspension preload. I normally don't talk about it because I haven't noticed that it made a whole lot of difference with these e-bikes, but if you want to stiffen out your suspension, then you turn it to the right. If you want to loosen this up, then you turn it to the left. The rear rack is built into the bike, and so usually that means you can carry probably like 100 to 150 pounds back here. Get a look at our rear and front 203 millimeter 4 pistons hydraulic brakes. The bike came with a set of keys that you can use to remove this large 60 amp hour battery. And I've had this battery on a few other e-bikes. I would consider this battery pretty standard now, which is good. So if you want to take the battery out, you put your key in here, turn it, and then there's a knob right here. That knob will push in, and then that means you can use this handle to take this heavy battery out. To turn the bike on, you do have to connect this in the battery first. The width of this handlebar, I would say, is pretty standard for a cargo moped style e-bike. It's about 2 feet 3.5 inches wide. Looks like we have your ergonomic, hard but rubbery handlebar grips. We have your standard Shimano 7 gear shifter. So we're now going to go ahead and turn our display on, this power button. Okay. So I guess by default you have to turn it one more time so that this here pushes out even more. Then you can turn the bike on. So I guess that means you have to keep the key in this battery in order to use this bike, which does give you some level of anti-theft, so I actually like that. So we're now going to go ahead and turn our bike on. I'm going to press and hold this power button, which is in the upper right hand corner there. I'm going to press and hold that. And by default, it looks like it's asking me for a password, but we also have these NFC cards. So I think if I put this card on there, I can bypass that password. So definitely an anti-theft e-bike, which I love. Let's look at some basic information on the display. We do have our battery life. We haven't charged the battery at all. Our pedal assist modes, and let's see, I'm gonna click the plus button here. Looks like we have 5 different pedal assist modes. Our speed calculator, pretty sure you can change that from miles per hour to kilometers if you want to. Our odometer, again, we have not used this e-bike at all. So over here on my panel, if I click this orange button here, it will dictate how many motors I'm using. So right now it looks like I'm using the motor in the rear. You see that blinking. I'm gonna click this orange button over here on my panel, click it. Now I'm using both motors, click it again. Now I'm using the rear motor again. And if I quickly click my power button here, I get more information on my display. I can go from my odometer, click that power button, to my trip mileage. That's how many miles have I ridden on my last bike ride. In the right bottom corner of my display looks like I do have a USB charger that I can use to charge my phone. So it looks like by default your dim light is on your headlight. I don't normally like that because I feel like it unnecessarily drains your battery to always have a headlight on. Maybe we can turn that off, but to turn your high beam headlight on, then you click that button and that makes that headlight even brighter. That also turns my really bright rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. We do have a twist throttle for throttle only. Under your throttle looks like we have a horn, which is louder than most. We're not going to go into the advanced settings of this DR208 display. There are a lot of advanced settings on this display. I would say like over 13 for sure. And I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the best set of instructions I've seen for this display. Because I'm not going to go through all of the advanced settings, but I will go through some of them. So to go into your advanced settings, you're going to press and hold the plus and the minus button. And then here it's going to ask you for a password. I'm not going to let y'all know what that password is. But if you want to know what the password is, comment below and I'll send it to you. P0 is to restore everything to the factory settings. P01 is how bright do we want our display. And we click the plus and the minus button to change our value. So we're going to keep it at a 3. And I'm going to quickly click this orange button to save that value and go to my next setting. P02 is how do I want to calculate my speed? Do I want to do miles per hour or kilometers? We're going to keep it at miles per hour. P04 is sleep time. So that's in minutes. So in 10 minutes, this bike will automatically turn off, but I can change that if I want to. We're going to keep it at 10. P8 is my limit speed and look like by default it's 25. I don't know if that's miles per hour or kilometers, but I'm going to click the plus button to see what it can go up to. It must be in kilometers. Yeah, okay. I would say let's go 75. P11 is my pedal assist sensitivity. I think all e-bikes should have the ability to change this because you might be using your e-bike for different things, you know. You might be actually wanting to get a workout in, which means you want less sensitivity, or you might be using it to get to work and you want to ghost pedal a bit, which means you want more sensitivity. So, and usually the higher you go, the least sensitive it is. By default is at a 1. I'm going to keep it at a 1 so you can see what the bike rides like out the box. And P12 is your kind of like your takeoff speed. So this is when the pedal assist does kick in, does it send you flying or is it more gradual? And by default, this looks like it's a 5. We're going to keep it there. P18 is your auto light setting. So I changed this to no to see if that'll turn my headlight off, which stays on here, and it didn't. So I'm going to turn that back to yes and just hope that that means that when I go outside and it's sunny outside right now, hopefully yes means it'll turn this headlight off because it's sunny outside. And you do need a password to get into your display. If you don't want to use a password, then P20, you cannot need a password to get into your e-bike. When you first turn the bike on, it seems like even though you're in mode 5, the max you can go is like 15 to 20 miles per hour. If that's ever the case with you, then just press and hold this orange button and then you'll see this. And then that means you can now go to max speed. I know the headset a little loose, but what would you give the suspension? 7, okay, 7.5. So TESWAY X5, what are your thoughts?
I think this is a decent beginner's bike. Well, beginners that like speed. I think that it's good off-road. The seat, I get a seat like a 6. A suspension like a 7.5. Grippy tires, I like that. I love the step through, so for guys or girls.
How tall are you with shoes on?
5'6". I like this display. I will say that it takes a while for the speed to come. It's very, very gradual. I don't like how this shakes. Whatever, there's something up here that shakes.
The headset?
Yeah.
Yeah, the headset was loose. We have to tighten it up.
I don't think I like how gradual it is. I'm a gradual person. It's like too gradual for me.
You think you're used to just bikes that take off quickly now, maybe?
I mean, all in all, it's a decent bike.
Okay.
It's a decent bike, yeah.
What'd you give it on a scale from 1 to 10?
I give this like I give it an 8.
8?
I give it an 8. And then if you fix whatever this is clanging up here, that's an 8.5.
So I took the handlebar off to deal with this shakiness. Lift all this up. And I'm lifting it from the bottom of the front fork there. And this is the issue here. Use a mallet. Maybe this will help. I think I finally got it. By lifting, I had to get all the pieces that are within here, shove them all down real good. I got to figure out how to keep this while I put the handlebar on. Piece headset on there pretty tight. And I need a mallet to kind of get that back on there good. I think I got that on there pretty good. That looked pretty secure, so just gonna get the handlebar on now. So now let me put the screws in. And there is a small headset ring that's in between this and this, so we're now gonna test out these Kinder tires, which are a little bit more grippy than normal. Gonna go through some gravel here. All right. Yeah, I mean, for Kinder tires, a little slipping going on, but not as much as some other Kinder tires. Yeah, we'll see. Let's brake here. Yeah, a little slipping, but that's kind of what you get with Kinder tires. They are very durable, but so I do think these tires are grippy enough for you to lean into your turns. They're not that slick, which is pretty good for Kinder tires. So I feel comfortable leaning. And that's especially because I have a nice wide handlebar and because this bike is a bit lower to the floor than most. So because of all of that, I feel comfortable leaning on this bike. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall, so that's good. We're not gonna go off-road with some hills, test out the tires, but mainly test out this suspension. Man, it's a lot of grass going on today. Okay, go a little faster here. All right, so far so good. Yeah, not bad. It feels like the front suspension is taking up most of the bumps and cracks, but let's keep going here. All right. So yeah, the front suspension, it feels like it's doing a lot of the work. The rear suspension is okay. Let's keep going here, but it's definitely better than average. Both suspensions working together. It is absorbing a lot of the bumps and cracks I'm getting here as I go through this grass here. Yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable. I don't feel a whole lot of bumps and shakes as I go through, so not bad. The dual suspension is definitely doing its job, but especially from what I'm feeling, especially the suspension in the front. And I'm surprised I'm not hearing a whole lot of clanking because the front suspension is kind of close to the handlebar, you know what I'm saying? But not bad. Let's go down here. Yeah, not bad at all. Scale from 1 to 10, I get that suspension like an 8. So I did not adjust any of the pedal assist sensitivity or takeoff speed in this bike. But I will say in mode 1 all the way up through mode 4, this bike has pretty much perfect pedal assist sensitivity. Like I know this is, I think this is a speed cadence sensor, but it feels like a torque sensor. I feel like my pedal was still being considered. You know, usually with a speed sensor, it's just taking you to the max speed as quick as you can. That's not what I feel on this bike. So it feels like a torque sensor. Go ahead and brake here. Look like mode 1 take me up to 10 miles per hour. Switch it to mode 3. Show y'all this pedal assist. And show y'all what I'm talking about. So the pedal assist started right away, right? But it's not sending me flying. Like I feel like my pedal is still being considered. Still feels pretty gradual. It feels natural. It feels more natural, and that's what I love about a torque sensor. And I don't even think I can ghost pedal. Let me try. Damn, mode 3 takes you up to look like 24 miles per hour. So here, I don't feel like I can ghost pedal. I feel like my pedal is still being considered. I guess I can ghost pedal a little bit, but it's not too bad. Go ahead and brake here. Great brakes, great brakes. This is probably the best you can do regarding a speed sensor. And the good thing is you can also adjust your pedal assist sensitivity and your takeoff speed. So I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. I would say this bike is almost perfect for a guy my height or shorter. I feel like I'm in between a commuter style posture and a more aggressive style posture. Like I'm right there in the middle. I do wish the handlebar was up just a little bit for me, but because of how this is designed, I can get a handlebar extender and raise the handlebar if I want to. So that's good. And this bike is pretty comfortable. I definitely feel like I can go without my hands on the handlebar, which is, I usually can't do with a moped style e-bike. So we're not gonna go max speed, pedal assist. See how the pedal assist is in mode 5, you know what I mean? Seems pretty gradual so far. About to go through this turn here and gun it. All right, I got to 25 pretty gradually though. 27. 28. Oh, the car. It's on here. All right, 27. And we're in single motor, sorry. 28, 29, 30. Pedal assist, dual motor. And I'm at 33 miles. Still haven't lost the battery bar, so damn, we shot out there. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And I still feel like my pedals being considered those pedals. 37, 38, 39, 40. All right. Oh, wow. So we're not gonna go max speed, throttle only, single motor. And it's pretty gradual on the single motor, which I guess is great for beginners. All right, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, very gradual, 31, 32. So we're not gonna go max speed dual motor. Throttle only, check out this takeoff. All right, definitely not as gradual. Got up to 25 pretty quickly. 28, 30, 34, 35, 36, 38, oh my God, 39, 40, wow. While we're in the street, I'm not encouraging you to do so, but if you do want a e-bike for the street, I think this is a great e-bike for that because you get all your bells and whistles, headlight, rear light, a horn. You have full suspension, so if you hit a crack on the road, the bike won't shake a whole lot. It does have some weight to it because of the heavy battery, so if it's really windy, your bike won't sway a whole lot either. And it's very comfortable. Again, it's very comfortable, so I think this is a great bike for the streets, but I also think this is a great bike for more urban areas because although it is kind of long for a moped style e-bike, it's compact enough to hit some pretty sharp turns. And I think it's compact enough to avoid people and things, go through some pretty narrow walkways. So yeah, I can definitely see you being able to avoid people and things pretty easily on this bike. Definitely compact enough for that. We're gonna go max speed, throttle only, dual motor, up a hill. This is a pretty steep hill, about a 35. Damn, we getting fast quick. Damn, but yeah, we're gonna see how much speed we lose going up this hill. I'm going into the hill at 35 miles an hour, about a 35-degree hill. Hill also has a turn on it. All right, 36. We're going into the steepest part of the hill now. 33, 32, 30, 29, 28. Oh wow. 29. All right, so we only lost like 6 miles per hour. The standard is usually 9 or 10, so. TESWAY X5 regarding a cargo moped style e-bike. This bike is in my top 3. I love the stability. I felt really comfortable on this bike. I love the speed. I was able to get over 33 miles per hour pretty easily, especially in dual motor. I love all the bells and whistles, headlight, rear light, or horn. Over 13 advanced settings where you can change things like your pedal assist sensitivity and the takeoff speed. The suspension was okay. I really like the suspension in the front fork. I love the anti-theft feature. But what I like the most about this bike is the range. I didn't lose the battery bar until I was in mile 40. And I spent 20 of those miles going max speed, pedal assist, single motor. I spent like 2 miles going max speed, pedal assist, dual motor. I spent another mile going max speed, throttle only. Another mile going max speed, throttle only, dual motor. I spent the rest of the time in, I would say, in mode 2 and 3. And yeah, it took 40 miles for me to eventually lose the battery bar. So that's like 200 miles to charge. But usually with these bikes, after you lose your first battery bar, you lose the second one a little bit quicker. Definitely a decent e-bike for a cargo moped style e-bike. On a scale from 1 to 10, I get this bike a 9. So comment below what you get this e-bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.